You read the title, you know what you're here for. A big problem among Star Rail players recently has been the difficulty of endgame content for many free-to-play players, or even people with solidly built characters. This is an argument that's as old as the game itself basically, and even though the game has undeniably gotten harder since new characters are better, there are still players who will always just say these two simple words: skill issue. These are the people who will zero cycle even the greatest boss, making them look like your local homeless man outside 7-Eleven. Or the content creators who can still manage to get full stars on any game mode with only 4-star units like Misha. Misha, for God's sake. This whole situation, I feel like, causes a lot of strife between players, and ultimately for good reason. Obviously, Star Rail and its team will carry on how they want, but figuring out how to appeal to players who struggle a lot, or players who make things too easy, is always a hard balance to strike. All of this inevitably leads back to that one single question. Can you really beat endgame content with anyone? Well, friends, it is time to find that out. At this point, many people know me as more of a discussion-oriented creator rather than a gameplay-centric one. It's a style of content I don't really enjoy too much, so I usually keep most of my game time to myself. Even on Twitch, where I'm live every Friday and Sunday, I stream things like Fire Emblem or whatever co-op game I'm playing with my friend Shy. Well, that's gonna change. To find out if anyone can beat endgame content, I will spend the next period of Apocalyptic Shadow trying to clear at least one side with a non-meta team. To some, this is going to be a walk in the park. And for others, this is literally impossible. And we're going to take that journey together, viewer. To document it, I'll be streaming this journey on Twitch, with the current days planned being Monday and Wednesday every week on top of my usual days of Friday and Sunday. We'll see how committed I actually stay to that, but I do want to document this a decent bit. I'll be streaming this so we can show what the actual investment and difficulty of doing this is, since many players will make it sound like such a simple task overall. Now back to the actual goal here. What does clear actually mean? Just playing the stage and killing the boss isn't exactly the type of challenge we're looking for here. Not to mention, I still want 12 stars so I can get max jades for the cycle. In this case, I'm going to define a clear as anything exceeding or matching 3,300 points. This is half the required amount to beat Apocalyptic Shadow, and as a result, I think that counts as a fair benchmark for this challenge. That may be sad to some people, but my usual APOC score on each half is about 3,400 to 3,500. This is using my premier teams as well. If it ends up being too easy, we can raise it, but for right now, 3,300 will be the mark to beat, gamers. So I've told you all the plan and how I want to go about it, but there's still a few things we haven't touched on. Mainly, what characters are actually available for me to use? The easiest way to go about this is figuring out which characters I can't use. The main teams I use right now consist of Aglaya, Firefly, and Fei Xiao as my primary DPS. This means all three of those characters will be banned. I can use them to complete the other side of the challenge, but only if I get 3,300 on whatever half I use the non-meta team for. Teams aren't just made of DPS, however. I also have to worry about if I want to ban supports or not. This, dear viewer, is where the rules of this are going to be a bit hard to decide, and I will be listening to comments if anybody has any adjustments they would like me to make on this. Banning good supports makes this substantially harder, but having fun with certain characters like Shui Yi really requires having some very specific support, I feel. Right now, this is what I have in mind. Freedwin's tier list is set up to have tiers, going all the way from tier 0 to tier 5. I think a fair ruling to start out with is I can only use one support above T1. For those audio listeners out there, that means I can have one of Fugue, Tribby, Pela, Robin, or Ron May, as I don't own Jiao Cho, Sparkle, or Sunday. Observant viewers may notice I didn't list every character there. This is because I'm not counting the Trailblazer or Pela in this count. The Trailblazer being required to own means anyone can use him and his various forms. Banning that feels silly and unnecessary, truth be told. As for Pela, she's a 4-star. I could ban her, but come on now, 4 stars might be the only way I manage here. Come on, please. Moving on to Sustains, this one is going to be a pretty easy ruling. As the old Sustain suck guy, I think banning Ling Sha is an easy choice here. She's a very good character and is currently my best Sustain, but I also have Gallagher, Lynx, and Fu Xuan all as competent options. I'll live. One final ban I want to make is something that I haven't even done before, but just to cover all my bases, I will not be allowed to pay for extra Trailblaze energy. Whatever I have to work with over the course of the month is what I have to work with. With that last choice made, I think that's all the bans we'll have to set in place. I don't have many premium light cones to begin with, so banning those isn't really going to be necessary. I will most likely opt for free-to-play ones, even without having this challenge in mind. So now that we have the challenge discussed, the rules set, and all the bans in place, why did I make this video? Well, besides just announcing this, it's because I have no idea what I'm doing. Before we start this cycle, I need to decide what team would be ideal to use for it. While the type of bosses can make a big impact on this, realistically, there aren't enough options to be that picky, I feel. I have a trick up my sleeve to help out as well. Leaks! If you don't want to hear what these options apparently are going to be, skip here. It's apparently Hule and that stupid bug again. I hate my life. Let's go into my account now, where I will take you on an unscripted journey through my additional characters and some of the ones I've never really touched before. I needed to mute the game audio. I am not going to be sitting here listening to, every single character's voice line while I'm trying to look at their stats and all that. That's not what I need right now. Anyway, so let us get into my actual character section. So that way, you, oh so diligent viewers, can please tell me what I can do here to actually make this possible. If you've seen my account overview, obviously, you're gonna know everything that's on my account. That hasn't really changed except for one very specific character, which we will get to in a minute. But so let's start out with Aglaya. Aglaya is outright banned. I can use her to actually clear the Apoc Shadow, but she cannot be the character that I primarily use. We have Trailblazer of Remembrance. In terms of Trailblazers, the only ones I have built super well is Remembrance Trailblazer, and then I have Harmony Trailblazer built well. As you can see here, we have Robin. It's a pretty conventional Robin build. Lingsha, once again, is completely banned, unfortunately. So, RIP. We have Firefly, who, similarly to Aglaya, is one of my better characters, so banned. Fugue is another case where she could be one of the options we use early on. We're going to skip ahead a little bit here, because Fugue is once again very situational. So, the first character that can actually be used is Himiko. I do have Himiko built for Super Break, so that's pretty important to keep in mind. The only way around this would be we would have to use Fugue as one of our T1 supports. Alright, so next is Jingliu, and I have not touched my Jingliu in a very long time. As you can see, she's got this shit on. The initial light cone I had on her was the Fall of an Aeon, which is now on Firefly, so realistically I could switch this back over. The other big problem with my Jingliu, I have not updated her relics. I do have some currently in progress, like we have this crit damage body piece, which is not good. We have this hands piece, which is not that bad, actually. I actually don't hate this. I have nothing for head, and we have no really good boots either. And then I'm pretty sure the planar set has always stayed the same. Neither of these is fantastic, but 15% crit rate is nice. So that's how Jingliu's looking, and if she's one of the better options, then Jesus Christ almighty, we might be a little cooked here. So, we do have Acheron available on this account. Truth be told, I haven't used Acheron in a very long time for anything that wasn't grinding or insta-killing enemies. The reason is that I do not have Jiao Cho. I do have Silverwolf, who's not built incredibly, but I do have a Silverwolf, and I have a Pela, but overall, Acheron has just not performed as well as I wanted her to without Jiao Cho. So, yeah, she's just been sitting dormant for a little while. So, realistically, this can be an option. I would say this is also not really a fair choice, but still, worth bringing up. We have the DOT girlies. You can see the general stats for them on the side. These were some of my better built characters, not as much anymore. We'll see what we can do with that, I guess. Skipping Fei Xiao because we cannot use her. So, this is the other character I've just recently gotten, Tribby. The Tribby build is still a bit of a work in progress, but overall she's not too bad right now. And as soon as I get a decent HP orb, I will be very content. Once again, the one problem is, if we are going to use Tribby, we cannot use any other support above T1. She might be worth it, just because she's so powerful, but we'll see. Fushuan is going to be one of our primary sustain options. Fushuan is still pretty good, but also sustains to some people really don't matter as much in this game, so I feel like I should just be allowed to use whichever sustains I want at this point, as long as it's not Lingsha. So, yeah, Fushuan probably getting some burn. We have my new and improved Gallagher, who I have built in advance for Castoris. He's gotten drastically better in just a few days, and it's kind of crazy. We're now sitting at 162 speed. His HP attack doesn't really matter as much. We have 119 energy regen and 145 break effect. Overall, I really like how he's looking right now. I'm very excited to actually try and get Castoris, and I will get her at any and all costs anyway. So now we go into the realm of characters that aren't super well made, besides like March, I guess. We have Gwenifin. Here are her rough stats: 2300 attack, 137 speed, and she has 68% effect hit rate. Lynx, I constantly stole pieces from Lynx to put on Gallagher, so she's a bit worse than she should be right now. My bad. March. Lycon's not perfect, and the overall build is not perfect, but I like March. About 80% crit rate, 124% crit damage, and she gets to 136 speed in combat. Pela. This is probably one of the worst Pela builds you're ever going to see. I apologize for that. The speed is very low. Down here, we have 61% effect hit rate. Not bad. Again, she kind of does the job. Kinda. The resolution shines Lycone is only at S4 as well, so that's not great, sadly. Moving on, we have a Tingyun here with 2600 attack, 162 speed, and Dance 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 is unfortunately only S3. I've only ever gotten 3 copies of Dance Dance Dance. That sucks. Overall, though, she's not bad. Also, just to show off a little bit extra, so we have an E6 Gwenifin, E6 Lynx, E6 March, E6 Pela, E6 Tingyun, and Gallagher is also E6. There are very few 4-stars that I don't have the E6 for, but there are a few coming up that I feel like will just probably not be able to be used because I don't have their E6. Back here, we have a Clara who is not built at all. Like, at all. Like, this is bad. So this is how Clara's looking. I don't even have her signature light cone, actually, so, rip me, I guess. I chose to use pulls instead. I chose to get pulls instead of the light cone, and while I don't exactly regret it, still probably not the best choice. So, moving on, we have Bronya. Bronya is, once again, not really built. I just have a bunch of random pieces thrown on her, because, once again, I stole multiple pieces for Remembrance Trailblazer. I have no regrets. Anyway, the nice part about this is I do have the Bronya light cone at least, so this could be a lot worse. And she is at least level 80, so there is potential to do something with Bronya. After her, we have Zila. Oh, also, Bronya is E1. And Clara is also E1. After those two, we have Zila. Zila has a bunch of old relics on her. Yeah, that's about it. That's really all I can say. It's Zila, and I'm a Zila hater. I like the character, don't like her as a unit. Here we have Silverwolf. She has a pretty loose build. She at least has the before the tutorial mission starts light cone. I went out of my way to get that. We got her general stats here, and the effect hit rate is at 137%. What the fuck? Top 10 things I did not know. Number 7. And her energy regen is at 119, so hey, there you go. Next up, we have Moz. Moz is once again E6, so pretty good. His overall build is just a bunch of pieces cobbled together, because I knew the rough idea was make sure to get Moz more crit rate than crit damage, and then I just threw a random swordplay light cone on him. Again, not perfect, but he's there. We have Bailu. Bailu is E2. I have post-op conversation. Lynx has the much better version, which I believe is like S3, S4 at this point, and I think I can make it S5, so that could easily be switched. We have Welt. Welt is also E1. His build is very old. He is one of the oldest characters I had on this. Yeah, he's not great. Also, if necessary, I do have the Welt light cone somewhere back here. Or if we wanted to get spicy, I can also switch him to Boundless Choreo. Serval, I have her with an S5 light cone, and that is sadly the best part about her. Eidolons, I don't even have E6 Serval. The most I can get as of right now is E5 if I do the self-character select for Awu Firm, whatever the hell it's called. E6 would be nice, but hey, what are you gonna do? We are now hitting the end of characters that I have, like, mostly leveled up. This is Asta. She just sadly does not really have much good on her. Her Eidolons are at least E6, though. Wow. Nice. Yanqing, he is not even level 80. I have E1 Yanqing. Wow. Still bad. And this is where we hit the end of fully leveled characters. We have Japard, who I have barely touched, but hey, he's E2. That's great. We have Su Xiong, who can be used in a pseudo sort of break style. Once again, not really perfect, but hey, she is E6. We have Herda, who of course is E6. No really doubt about that one. I was kind of working to make a competent Herda. This was the progress on it before I gave up entirely, so hey, there you go. We have a Genius's Repose Light Cone, that's S5. Could probably level that up. We have Sampo, who's E2, I believe. Yep, that sucks. Moving on, we have Dan Heng, who has 127 crit damage and 7 crit rate. I only have E2 Dan Heng as well. Rip. Natasha sitting at E4, has no build. Ratio, never really used him, but hey, he's got 120 speed for some reason with this stuff on him. Wei, who I was working to level up and then gave up immediately. Oh, also, Jui is E6. Xingshui, only E2, unfortunately. There's no way I'm going to be able to get more Xingshui Eidolons easily, so this one is probably a dead mission. Anya, who is E6, luckily. Not really sure if that's going to do anything for us, but hey, she's there. We have Luca, who is also E6. Hook, who is E6. And right here at the bottom, we have Misha, who's E6. Arlen, who's only E3. And Yukong, who's only E4. Yeah, these 4 characters, if any of you suggest using them, you're getting banned in the comments. Not actually, but these characters, yeah, I just don't think me personally, I'm going to have the ability to bring out the best in them, sadly. My bad, everybody. But anyway, so this is what the account looks like. These are kind of all of our options. Just so everybody can get a bit more info overall, I can kind of go through the light cones I have available. There's no other remembrance characters to worry about besides MC, so here's your remembrance options. I have the Tribi one. I have a backup Bronya one, shockingly. I have Memories of the Past S3 and Memories of the Past S2 with another copy ready to go. I have Planetary Rendezvous, which I've never seen anybody actually use. We have an S5 Past and Future, and like I said, the S3 Dance 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 is on Tingyun. We have 2 copies of What Is Real, one is S5, one is S2. We have Post-Op Conversation, which is S5. We have Perfect Timing, which is S3. We have Hey Over Here, which is S5. And then we have a few other copies all about. We have Shared Feeling, which is S5. I unfortunately only own one Quid Pro Quo. Once again, very unlucky with this, so I know that's usually a big light cone strategy, and I cannot take advantage of it. Moving on to Destruction, we have On the Fall of an Aeon. We have Indelible Promise. Don't ask why that's on him. We have A Secret Vow. And then we have Ninja Record Sound Hunt. The rest of these are pretty mediocre at best. Moving on to Nihility. Of course, I have Long Road Leads Home for Fugue. We have Before the Tutorial Mission Starts. Lots of copies of Good Night Sleep Well. So we have one for Acheron, that's S3. One for Kafka, that's S2. One for Gweniphan, that's S1. We have one more copy down here, that's level 70. That used to be Black Swans. Then we have an S2 Boundless Choreo. And over here we have S2 Solitary Healing. We have Those Many Springs, which I'm not really sure if it was good for Black Swan. Nobody's ever yelled at me for it, so I kind of just left it there. Because I got it on accident, so I'm like, well, too late now. And then we have the Welt Light Cone, as well as only an S4 Resolution Shines. I will never not be mad about that. We keep it going now. This is the Erudition Cones. So we have S4 After the Charmony Fall, S5 Genius Repose, S5 Make the World Clamor, S5 Eternal Calculus, S5 The Seriousness of Breakfast, and then a lot of extra copies of random things to work with. The second to last one we have to check here is Hunt. Hunt is not really the most impressive. I have Sleep Like the Dead, S5 Cruising in the Stellar Sea, S3 Swordplay with an extra copy available, S3 Only Silence Remains, another Swordplay, another one, and then we have an S5 Subscribe for More. And finally, last but not least, we have Preservation Cones. I have an S4 Lando's Choice, an S5 Trend of the Universal Market, another S5 Trend of the Universal Market, and then a few extra copies of Concert for Two, Day One of My New Life, and We Are Wildfire. And there you go, kids. That's my account. That's what we got to work with for this challenge. Send it back to the script, and God help me, I hope somebody knows what they're doing. With that tour out of the way, it's time, viewer. I need your help. What should be the characters I rebuild or work on to attempt this challenge? Leave a comment down below. I know I have plenty of people in my audience who are a lot better than me at this game. Lend me your energy, your wisdom. I need it more than ever. Let's really see if you can beat hard content with anyone. Thank you everyone for watching, and hope you look forward to this little mini-series I have planned. I don't know if I'll really be able to keep up with it like how I want to, but I'm going to try my best and see how it turns out. I'm actively looking for advice and suggestions in the comments, so let it rip if you have any, and I hope you look forward to the rest of the content we have coming out soon. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.